Hey everyone, this is Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com, DevOps TV, and we're here again at DevOps Enterprise Summit with two very interesting speakers who just recently presented. Both of them are from government contractors primarily, and it's interesting to hear at DevOps Enterprise Summit or at any show to try to get a little bit about what the scene is like in the government federal space. So let me introduce you to Suzette Johnson, who's to my immediate far right, and Suzette, you're with Northrop.
Correct.
Is it still called Northrop Grumman?
It is still Northrup Grumman.
Because I'm a Long Island boy, and Grumman, I mean, my friend's dad's worked on Tomcats. I'm old. I'm that old.
That's cool.
But yes, so Grumman's always a name dear. And then Robin, I'm going to have to put on my glasses for that one. Robin Yeman?
Yep.
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin.
So, what can you tell us about DevOps? What did you talk about?
So we talked pretty much about our different journeys and how similar they are because the government's doing a lot in Agile and DevOps, and they are progressively getting better and better.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we've kind of discovered over the years as we've been talking is how similar this journey is in these large contract environments. We have a lot of the same challenges. Working with our contracts, working with some of the regulations, the security concerns, the fact that we build really large systems that have a lot of safety aspects to it and how we build security in. So it was several years ago we were both speaking at a conference separately that our stories were so similar, we decided just to combine them as one story, and we thought that might be more powerful than...
Oh, I think it absolutely is. But I think it also drives home one of the basic tenets of this show, which is you're not alone, right? As crazy as you think your organization is and the insane hoops that you have to jump through, they're actually very similar to the craziness and insanity at the next guy, right? And it hops. It's not just say, well, all government contractors have these problems. Yes, there is some stuff that's unique to you, but a lot of what you're doing is baseline across the board, whether you're a manufacturer or a bank or a technology company or a government contractor. So, but if you can share with our audience, and again, recognizing we're under, you guys have constraints to deal with, but can you share with our audience what are some of the challenges that you think, let's start off with you think are unique to the government contracting space?
So some of the unique ones I would say are things like, and again, I've always worked at Lockheed, so it's going to be difficult for me to say for sure, but having to leverage things like earned value, right? That's just a given. There's not a contract that we don't have to provide earned value. Security constraints, the risk management framework, being applied to all of our systems for security. So I think those types of things are pretty unique. In general, the challenges or the problems I don't think are that unique. And the only reason I say that is because I work across, right? I end up going to visit aeronautics or space or surface ship at any given time, and every team has the same problem, or at least every program. First, they try to do a hybrid because they really it's easier. They don't understand the basics. The other things are the leadership is not engaged. They're too busy, right? You always know who really should be at the meeting because it's the people that aren't. They're too busy to be there. It's we don't spend enough time on tooling and doing automation because it just takes too much time, right? We've got to build product. So pretty much across the board, I'd say the challenges, at least for the programs, are all the same.
Yeah, and I think one thing that makes it a unique environment, and one is the products that we build, especially with the defense side. Those products, they have a lot of hardware and firmware. It's not just software, although there's a lot of software, and that's usually where the Agile DevOps journey begins. But so we have the challenge, though, of kind of taking those principles across that whole value stream, which is very unique space in our domain. Also because we have contracts and we're working with so many different customers that sometimes those government customers have unique needs as well. So while we might have an internal way of how we want to do things, sometimes our government customers, based on what their needs are, might influence how we would do things, and we have to be able to modify that to meet their needs. Because some of our government customers are very much integrated as part of our team, and in some cases they're not as integrated, but they want to have those regular touch points. So we have to be flexible in how we meet their unique needs as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's funny something you said, Robin, which was you can tell who needs to be at the meeting by who's not at the meeting. And it reminds me of the old story that, you know, people are so busy being busy that they don't have enough time to make themselves unbusy. And you know, and it's sort of like a Phoenix Project kind of character like that, right? But let's talk about, so, you know, when we think about DevOps, we don't think about government a lot or large government contractor. What, is there any special resistance you think you're running into with government and DevOps?
Well, the government, I mean, there's a couple things. Every project, you know, the government's got to go to Congress and they've got to get funding, right?
Yep.
So the acquisition cycle is really long. It's years.
Oh, I remember.
You know, and so what do we want to do? We want to make smaller projects. We want to break things down, right, to reduce risk. However, the way they get funding and how difficult it is to get funding kind of enhances just creating bigger and bigger.
Big projects.
So how do we make the acquisition cycle so it's not so you know, difficult? Because that's one huge problem. The other thing is, you know, it used to be, I think, the government always had like the latest innovation, the latest, you know, the latest products. I even hear that, you know, now from some of them. Oh, you know, that came out of this government contract. I think we're in a place where it's become so risk averse that maybe that's not the case. We're starting to see, you know, companies like SpaceX or things taking on more risk and maybe their innovation going a little further, right? So we have to become a little less risk averse.
I think part of the any type of resistance that you might experience, some of that comes from not understanding, and so how to help them understand, because change can be uncomfortable in some cases. So how do we make the change comfortable in environments maybe where this is kind of a unique way of collaborating, a unique way of doing business, and helping them understand that not changing is actually more risky than actually changing. It doesn't always feel that way.
You know, before you guys came in, we had Dr. Stephen Maynor talking, who spoke about change and stuff here. It does, but our discussion was all about change. Fundamentally, people, you know, no one stands, everyone would like change, right? We vote for change, supposedly, in our elections. But when change comes home to you, it can be scary, right? You know, because you get right down to, does it affect, what is it that change affect? It could affect all the way down to your survival, right? And my job, and how am I feeding my family? And so everyone's a little bit nervous when we start talking about change. But anyway, ladies, thank you for presenting, because I think it is an important story that we need to tell at these kinds of conferences, that the public sector is as involved as the private sector, and in some ways leads things, right? Because a little bit of a different, you know, set of challenges, but it makes for innovation. So thank you for presenting. Thank you for being on our show.
Okay.
We have, let me just make sure I don't mess this up, Suzette Johnson from Northrup, and Robin, I don't have my glasses, Robin, help me, Yeman from Lockheed Martin.
Yep.
Alrighty. This is Alan Schimmel for DevOps.com, DevOps TV. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.